Kim Aaliyah, and I have on the line with me Dr. Frederik Schroyens, who will be presenting this evening on using the RadarOpus program to solve cases and do many other things. So we'll get into that in just 1 second. I just wanted to let people know very quickly that Dr. Schroyens will be coming to North America. You can see up here he'll be in Winter Park, Florida, October 15th and 16th. He'll be in Mexico City in Mexico on October 20th. October 22nd to the 23rd, he'll be in Guadalajara, Mexico. And then October 29th and 30th, he'll be in San Francisco. And by the way, that is AKINA accredited, so it's accredited by the CHC. And then on November 5th and 6th, he'll be in Oak Brook, Illinois. All of these events are posted on the Whole Health Now website, so if you want any more information or want to find out who to contact about being able to participate in any of these events, you can go to Whole Health Now / I think it's events. And anyway, if you go to the front page, you'll find the events calendar, and all of this information is posted up there. Also, Dr. Schroyens will also be doing another webinar, which is being sponsored by the American Medical College of Homeopathy. This is a free session. It's called Curing Depression Using Repertory Materia Medica and Patient Files. And that will be on Monday, October 24th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific. And if you want more information about participating in that particular event, again, this is free to anybody who'd like to join. The contact phone number is 602-347-7950. That's 602-347-7950. Or you can visit the American Medical College of Homeopathy's website, which is www.am as in Mary, C-O, F as in Frank, H.org. Or you can also send them an email at info@am as in Mary, C-O, F as in Frank, H.org. So there are many opportunities for people to study with Dr. Schroyens. And let me tell you that if you have the opportunity, if you're in the area, or you can participate in this American Medical College of Homeopathy free webinar, I highly recommend you do so. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Schroyens, first of all, is the editor of Synthesis, the homeopathic coordinator for Archibald, a very excellent homeopathic practitioner who's been in practice now for more than 30 years, and one of the best homeopathic educators that we have. If anybody's ever had the opportunity to participate in one of Frederik's seminars, you walk away absolutely much better informed, and he's a natural teacher. I've been to many of his conferences, and I repeatedly hear from the participants that it was one of the best seminars they ever had a chance to participate in. So it's a real treat. I highly recommend it. There's many opportunities all over North America and in Mexico, and also the free webinar on October 24th. So with that quick introduction, thank you all for joining us today. I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Schroyens. Frederik, thank you so much for joining us. As always, it's a great pleasure to have you on. By the way, he's also a real gentleman, a real European gentleman, and one of the nicest people that I know, really, honestly. He's just a lovely human being in all respects.
Yeah, Kim, so I should interrupt you. You should stop your flattering. Eh? Okay.
Well,
so anyway, one more thing is that I'd like to explain, or maybe you'd like to explain, that people can post questions.
If people do have questions, you do have a control panel on the right-hand side there, and I will be monitoring for any questions. So just type in your questions in the little control panel on the right-hand side, and as time permits, I will take some of those questions and pose them to Dr. Schroyens during this 1-hour webinar. So please feel free to ask whatever you'd like.
Okay, welcome everybody. I've got some emails and phone calls from people who announced that they would be there, so welcome to the friends and to the unknown people. And I will hide now this little window. As you can see my screen. Kim, can you confirm that you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen fine.
Okay.
Let me just say
Great.
further that some people asked a little bit about the logging, working with the patient files. There
Yes.
are no Canadian dates, just for people to know. Yes, you can find the spelling of his name up on our website in many different locations. Schroyens. Go ahead, Frederick.
Yes. So the idea was that over the past few weeks I would write down a few interesting instances where I felt that RadarOpus really helped me in a new way, in an unexpected way. And I have written them down and I will submit them to you. But as I know, some people are seeing RadarOpus now for the first time, so I will just give a very short 5-minute or so introduction, not explaining the whole program, because this would take us too long, but just explaining 3 or 4 main ideas about the program, because I believe if you are aware of these 3 or 4 ideas, you can go ahead and explore the many possibilities of the program yourself. So let me just introduce you these 3-4 ideas, okay? So you're looking at the screen, which for most people will be the one which opens when you open the program. I say for most people because the program can be very much individualized, and so one person can do it this way, another person can do it in another way. So don't worry at no ever moment if you don't have exactly the same content or etc. on your screen. It's probably an option which you may turn on or off. In fact, I am now using the version 1.10.15. Do you see this up here on the corner? RadarOpus 1.10.15, which is the pre-release version of 1.20. And so it means this version is 15 steps further. There would probably, most of you will have 15 intermediate versions further. But the 1.10.15 is the pre-release version of 1.20. And we are planning to release RadarOpus 1.20 next week to everybody who likes to download or obtain this version. So in a way, it's also a preview on what you will be receiving and working with next week, at least for some of the new features that have come up since 1.10. Now, RadarOpus, also the version you're using, 1.10, 1.9, 1.8, the main idea is you can do anything with any information you like. It's as easy as that to summarize it. And therefore, there are 5 icons which are the main entry here. You see repertories, references, patients, remedies, and families. These 5 icons define the 5 ways you can enter and start using a certain type of information. So if I click on the icon of repertory, you get the table of contents of the different repertories. And therefore we call it the table of content icon on repertories. And as you see here, Synthesis Treasure Edition is highlighted. This is what appears in your right window. If I would like to work on wards, I click here on this Drake repertory of wards, and I can study the symptoms of Drake wards repertory. So it's a table of contents at the left side, at the right side the content itself. In fact, it works as a web page almost. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing I'd like to explain to you is you must pay a lot of attention to this area of the program. This area to the right and below of the main line of icons here. Here are tabs, and they contain all the windows you've opened and in which you have worked. And they may be many, because as I have been saying, the program is capable of doing many things. So while now we're looking at the repertory, there is another tab here which says Guiding Symptoms of Materia Medica. When you click on that, you are now working or ready to work, investigate, read, whatever, use Materia Medica information. So every time look at this area of the program to know where you want to go, which information is open, etc. I draw your attention to the little arrow here, where you see that you have a list of the repertories, or possibly here a list of the Materia Medica is open, and the arrow will allow you to switch, in this case for example, between Herring or the Materia Medica of alle nozodes. So that's the second point. First point, the main 5 icons. Second point, tabs with information you have been using. Now the third point is that every place where you are in the program, you can easily access the options of that place in the program. I'll give you an example. We click on the icon References, okay? And you see a list of Materia Medica books, because references means, in fact, all the books, all the references except the repertories. Okay? We know in our art and science repertories have a special place. So that's the first icon. Everything else, Materia Medica, therapeutics, journals, whatever, dictionaries, they're all under references. Okay? And they are grouped like this. So if I close the little tab Materia Medica, I close keynotes, I see the different comparative Materia Medicas, I see the therapeutics, I see the list of provings, all of them as separate categories, which I can open and close by clicking on the little arrow, the little triangle left of them. Okay? Now, in all those windows, if you want to search information, the idea is the same. When you want to search for the works of Allen, you type A-L-L-E-N, you narrow down your search as you type, and you see all the works of Allen included in the different languages which are available. Okay, where the word Allen is there. Why is this proving of Melanie Grimes there? Well, because this remedy, Fax Celestis, contains the words Allen, Allendi. Allendi is the full name of the remedy, Fax Celestis Allendi. Anyway, just an example to say there is an easy way to find whatever information you need. Now, I was going to explain you in fact about the options. And the options at any place of the program become available through these little arrows. These little arrows down show you that below these arrows a panel with options is opening. I click on it and I see here the different options. Now let me show you in this example what you can do. For example, you are speaking English, you don't speak any of these languages. Well, you click on the tab Languages, you say deselect all and only select English here. And you see from the flag, I apologize for the Americans, the Australians, the New Zealanders, etc., etc., that it is the British Empire flag. We got to find a solution to that, I know, but definitely this means it is the English books. If, on the other hand, some French-speaking people would like to see the literature, it's just to click on the other flag. I will select again all the languages and give you another idea about the display, for example. So you can, for example, say that the authors, you don't like to see them in the front, but you like to see them behind the document title. You see here, Bailey is behind homeopathic psychology. So all of that can be indicated and chosen according to your appetite of the day. Wherever you are, if you see this symbol, 2 arrows, it means options are there for that place where you're looking at. Now, the last item as a matter of introduction I would like to give you is the help you can possibly wish for during your work with RadarOpus. And that help you can get in a number of ways. You know, it is our tradition from Radar and Encyclopedia Homeopathica, also as a company, that we are very strong in providing for help in a number of ways, and we maintain that tradition with RadarOpus. Now, first of all, just out of the menu, let me tell you that you can, in most of the screens, click on a question mark. You see the screen here with the little question mark, the icon I mean. If you click on the question mark, then context-sensitive help opens with precise explanation on about the place where you have been, and you see with print screens and icons and explanation, everything very clear. And as you see, there is even a video here present which will explain you with screens and speech exactly what you can do or how to work in this part of the program. Okay? I close this assistant, voila. But even more so, next to the context-sensitive help, you can get to the quick start video. Okay? This is a video we have recorded for those who like to use the program or start to use the program in the beginning. I'm not going to play it, just telling you it's there. Okay? I need to get this. Yeah, close this window. I'm a little bit handicapped by the appearance of the webinar menu, but okay, we can get through that. And yeah, important is, if you have technical issues, we have here an entry, ask for support, and this opens in fact a web page where you can enter your name, email, etc. with a code and a description of your problem. Okay? You submit it and we will respond to you. Okay? What else is there? Yeah, there is a user-to-user forum we recently started, so it doesn't contain so many pages yet or topics yet, but basically here everybody can subscribe, post a question, reply, discuss about certain use of the program. And then which one out of the different choices I want to show you as well? Yes, is you can also visit our website here. Now you see the website RadarOpus appearing, and yes, by now maybe this is a little trick I would like to tell you. By now you get a little bit annoyed about this table of contents, because in fact it doesn't serve a lot. And you can easily remove this table of contents by clicking twice on the tab here. This is the tab, Web, Archibald RadarOpus. I click here, exactly here, twice, and at this moment the table of contents is hidden and I have the full screen here. Now what you can investigate this website. You can go, and I emphasize this here, to the YouTube section where we have channel created and where there is about 60 different videos already in different languages by different people, different aspects of the program. Again, you can play them, you can react to them, and they may help you to understand how to use the program better. Okay? So these are the few main ideas, the 5 icons at the top, using the option buttons, looking at the tabs here, and the help functions. If you are aware of this, then probably you will not get lost using RadarOpus. Okay, I hope this serves as an introduction so that everybody at least can follow what I will be doing now. Okay? And so here is the first instance that I have written down. It was a patient who had a sore throat and told me this strange symptom. I have such a feeling as if I feel X in my throat. Not just a nodule or something, but really big X. And insisted on the size of that feeling. So of course this is interesting for us because not everybody is telling us such an idea every day. And I open my search here by clicking on the search icon. I did it before I told you, I apologize. And here I see the different types of information for which I can search. Now in this case I type the word X, I do enter. To enter the word, one more enter to open a window, a box for another word, and the X have to be in the throat. Now what I usually do is to search first in the open repertory, which by default is synthesis. So I click on this area, search area icon, and I go here to my all open repertories. And the program starts to search and finds one symptom in synthesis, which is mucus like egg white. Yes, the words are there, but as so often in the word searches, the result isn't quite what we like. Now, I must say I was reflecting it's quite a very specific symptom. So immediately I decided, let's move and really search in the materia medica. I don't have to retype any search because RadarOpus is working and handling my repertory information, my materia medica information, my patient information all at the same time. All I need to do is just change here and go to references. You remember references include materia medica. You see here the list. Materia medica is most of it. It also includes keynotes, comparative materia medica, therapeutics, provings, journals, books on other therapies, philosophical books, proceedings, history, etc., etc. But the major part of the references are the materia medica books where I hope to find this information. So I say search in all references, not only the ones that are open, which in my case, as you may remember, was basically Allen and Herring and some 2 or 3 other ones. No, I want to search in all the materia medicas and check if I have some information there. And I got a lot of information here. Throat and hens, egg. Well, no, it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me. I need to specify something, which is the distance between words. And when I click on this icon, did you see this? On the icon words, this is a hidden icon in a way. You click on it, I can say that I want to repeat this search where the words throat and X appear within 4 words. And instead of the whole long list, which you see at the table of contents here, I launch the search again. Instead of this whole list, you will see now a much shorter list with, to start, a symptom from Allen, where a bad X smell is present in the throat, and I could click on the different materia medicas to read the different symptoms there. But as I was scrolling through these references where some information relevant for X and throat was present, I saw Watt's unabridged dictionary of sensation as if. And so I click on that one because I know this contains a lot of interesting information on sensations as if, which is the case of the symptoms patient. And I see, yes, in this part of his dictionary, there is an entry which contains the keywords X and throat. I click on it, double click actually, and I see here that the throat felt as if there were lumps in it like 2X, soreness, especially when swallowing, etc. So the sensation of 2X related to a sore throat, exactly what I was looking for, with the remedy lac caninum. Don't you like this? So at this moment, I would like to ask Kim, are there any questions or any issues that have come up before I move on to my next step?
Yeah, somebody asks, Frederik, why does wart appear twice under references on the left side?
Yes, because as the book, wart contains two parts. If you see the little pop-up window, can you see this? The first part is the pathogenetic symptoms and the second part is the clinical symptoms. There are two books, so we have two volumes in RadarOpus. Any other question?
No, everything else is kind of technical questions.
Okay,
yeah.
we stall those for the moment, okay? Then I would like to go on with another interesting experience I had is that for some patients I came in on a small rubric and I was considering the possibility of the remedy Rosa canina. Yeah? So I go to my search icon here where I enter the search window, which I clear by clicking on the eraser here, okay? And so in the remedies box I enter the first letters of Rosa canina, which is present in the list. And then, okay, I would like to know, this is a very small remedy, I know. So I'm searching now straight away in all the documents, because wherever it is, I want to have most of the information on this I can find. So all documents, and very quickly, I see here that there is information present in synthesis as well. Really not a lot, loss of ambition, resignation, dysuria, etc. There is family information, some materia medica, etc. And in fact, the figures in front here, they indicate the number of symptoms. And that's a help to quickly spot the most interesting source. If you search, like in this instance, for a remedy, we see that the most interesting source probably is this one, because it has 245 symptoms on Rosa canina. And what is it? It is a German text as indicated from the flag. I click on it, and indeed I do get a German text, which I will increase to the screen with. And I see that here, for those who know German, HAMP means proving, homeopathic proving of a substance. And I see this nice German text. Proofs, you see here the word proof, symptomen, proving symptoms. That's really what I want, you know. The only problem I have is that it is in German. And even if I speak some German, maybe many of those who are listening now, and for sure in our homeopathic community, they are stuck at this moment. And they crave to know exactly the mind symptoms of this remedy, because such an unknown remedy now, because of this proving, has some 10 mind symptoms. Well, there is a solution within RadarOpus, because next to integrating all the things you need on homeopathic level, repertory, materia medica, patient file, etc., RadarOpus also includes dictionaries, translation dictionaries, explanatory dictionaries. And to access that here, you must be aware, you're now in the search window, as you can see from the tab. Do you remember I told you to look at the tabs? So we have a tab for repertory. We can go to the repertory, we can go to the last materia medica we're looking at, which was Roberts, the electrode thing, and here is the tab on search. You see that? The tab on the search. So I am in a search window. Now, to go to the materia medica, which is just one little step I need to do, I double click, for example, on this first symptom, and here I am now at the materia medica of Rosa canina. Okay? And at this moment, another icon has appeared, this little globe. It says change language. We need to change that. In fact, it means translate into. And then you get the list of all the 64 languages we have for the moment, and which you can use for translation. And it is one other very fascinating aspect of our project, is that we can help all the people who speak one of those 64 languages in some way to understand much better any information in any other language. I say any information in any other language. So the Dutch people, they understand, they can read Greek provings or Thai provings. The Turkish people can read the Bulgarian proving, the Czech people can read the Yiddish proving, and so on and so on. Now, just to show you the example currently, I'm speaking in English for probably mainly English-speaking people, and we have a German text. So what we need is a translation into English. And yes, it is one of our 64 languages. And if I click on the icon, the program takes a little while that you believe nothing is happening, but that is less than true. Because in fact, a translation is generated, and below each phrase, each sentence in German, extreme Müdigkeit mit Kältegefühl, you see extreme fatigue with chills. I am tired, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Is that the correct translation? Yes, it is. Ich bin müde, das ist schön angenehm. Angenehm means agreeable, pleasant. There may be mistakes in this translation. I would say, from the experience we have, the translation is between 80 and 95% accurate, depending upon the languages, the difficulty of the text that we are using, and also if it's well structured. But if, as in this case, the text is quite well structured, you can read total fatigue with chills, must lie down during the day, again fatigue with chills, unable to do anything, feels nervous, jittery as after a strong coffee, distracted, etc. So even if you don't speak any German at all, you will understand the main idea of this proving. Isn't that true? And as I say, we can repeat the same example with information in so many other languages. So I believe this is a big change in the use of, or the accessibility. The accessibility of the information. It gives, it's not everything is in English. I apologize for my American friends, but it's so much literature, very interesting literature in German, in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese, etc. And even if many of those people speak English, well, they don't write their provings, their clinical cases, their books, etc. They don't write it in English all the time. And with the program, once the books are there, the proving, like this proving from Schmutzer, is available through RadarOpus, even no official translation yet, you can do a translation on the fly. This is the next example I wanted to explain, so I take a short break to listen to Kim.
Yeah, Frederik, I had a couple of people ask me if you could just review the translation tool one more time so they can see exactly how it works, and also show them how to remove the translation as well.
Yeah, okay. So I will first show how to remove, because it's there. So to remove, you click again on the icon, and it's not very clear. I think myself we must improve this a little bit, but you go to the language that was added, you add a translation into English, you click on the English and the translation is removed. Okay? Now wherever you are in the program, and why don't I give another example? Let's say we are here in the repertory. Again, you see the same icon there. Wherever you see that icon, you can add a translation. And here I will choose google.com translation in, for example, Thai, because you know I'm working with the Thai people, so maybe some of them are listening. And what happens? Well, below each sentence, automatically daytime in Thai, morning in Thai, evening, etc., etc. Wherever there is a translation, sometimes not, a Thai word or some words are written. Okay? Is this a reply? Yeah, let me tell you one thing. Don't be confused by this. There is additional languages and google.com. Now, the google.com is a translation on the fly. You can put anywhere, let's say 85, 80 to 95% accurate, and you can remove it easily. But the word additional language is a different story. If you click on additional language German, it means that you add the official translation. This is a translation that has been crafted and redone and edited and with the many uses we have. So this is an official translation. This is basically viewing the official translation of synthesis in other language. So this is official translation, very solid, high quality, and this is the translation on the fly, where you will have a very good idea of what you're reading, but maybe not perfect. Is this a clarification to the question, Kim?
Yeah, I think that's good, Frederik.
All right. So let me just give you another idea of another patient who came really just very recently, last week, and again had a story, very painful story, was in the back and sciatica and stuff like that, but with a very interesting information that there was a sensation of drops of water on the thigh. So this is the word we want to look for. We type drops, we type water, and now I don't want to limit it. Yeah, look, first I will set it to look in the repertory, because as I say, this is what I do first. Now we want to limit it, and we can limit it to a chapter. You see here this section, chapters, cases, chapters, pathologies, etc. And I type extremities, okay? Extremities. And you see here that there is a word, extremities, all chapters. Do you see this, all chapters? Now, what does this mean? Well, this is another, I think, almost fantastic feature of the work that so many people in our team have been doing. Well, you open one book, one Materia Medica, and you will know that not every chapter has the same name everywhere. Like somewhere, it's chapter where you find the symptoms on extremities is called extremities and back, or even extremities and skin, or extremities and edema, or extremities in general, etc. And so if we would be very square, we look for information in the chapter extremities, there's a lot of information we don't find, because there is a lot of information on extremities which is in chapters, just with a slightly different name. And so what we have done is we have made lists of all those variations, and we made a section, extremities all chapters, so that you're safe when you click on extremities all chapters, that you will find the information on extremities in the chapter extremities, whatever the name of that chapter may be. And if we click again on the search icon here, we see now, of course, much less symptoms. In fact, only 2 with a remedy. Trickling down, drops of water trickling down the upper limbs, which is chininum sulfuricum, or just below that, cold water trickling down on the front of the thighs with aconite. Okay? These are 2 remedies, and yeah, this lady has some fear, so I like to consider it, but still I like to investigate whether there are more possibilities. So what I do again is I change my search area and I go for all documents. I remember the chininum sulfuricum and the aconite. I go to all search documents, and of course I can click here on Burica, where basically you see aconitum napellus. I have the same symptom, but I show you something different, which is very interesting, I believe, is that I can ask the program, instead of looking at the content of one document at a time, is to look at all documents. And this I do by clicking on the View All Documents tick box here. You see, I click it on, the program is now searching the information and collating it, searching it in all the books, and gives me a full list. I can read it, etc. Okay, but what I would like to know is to have quickly an idea of the remedies that are there. And so I click on this graph icon. This is the icon of graph of analysis. And in the search results, search is my tab, I have a graph icon. I click on this graph icon, and now I have a graph per remedy. So I don't need to read phrase by phrase by phrase, by sentence by book. I can immediately see, okay, these are the main remedies for this search on drops of water in the chapter extremities. I find a number of instances of aconite, which is probably the symptom I found already. Lolium I don't like very much. Hydrogenum, yes, I think hydrogenum is maybe interesting. And so, in order to know more about something, this is like in the old radar, still in RadarOpus, to know more about something, click on it. Double click, in fact, on the hydrogenium. Another tab opens here, drops water, all chapters for remedy hydrogenium. Do you see this written here at the top of the tab? And I see here the proving of Jeremy, where the person dropped a kettle of water, which is definitely not what I'm looking for. So I go back to my graph, to the search analysis. Where do I go back? In the tabs area. I don't need to go back to my proving, not to my repertory, to my search analysis. Okay? Everything is open at the same time, and you navigate from one place to another by using the tabs. Okay? So I click on this tab, and I have the graphic, the search analysis graph again. And I see Dulcamara, which I know quite well, don't like, but then I got intrigued by the presence of this remedies borax. I double click on borax, other icon opens, and I see here that Kent is mentioning something, and Vitulkas is saying sensation as if drops of cold water trickled down the front of the thighs. Yeah, that's exactly again the same idea. There's cold water and etc., but cold drops, water trickling, thighs, etc. So borax, next to the aconite I was first finding and the Chininum sulfuricum that I first found, the borax comes in. Now I told you that the lady had some fears, and even if I know a few ideas about the borax, I would like to be precise and to be complete, make a little investigation, and to know more about the fears of borax. So how can I move ahead? Well, I'll give you the example of how I worked. I go to my search area again, and in this instance I write the remedy borax. You see it here, borax venata is the full name, and I ask for all the information in the chapter's mind. Just like for extremities, for mind, in fact for all the chapters we have done the same work. So except if you like to search in a certain book or only intellectual symptoms or emotional symptoms, your best option will be to choose mind all chapters, meaning all chapters with mental information, with mind information. Okay? And then I enter, and the program now is extracting the mind sections out of all the different places, Materia Medica, repertory. You see this search is on your repertories and Materia Medica at the same time. So I have a result of repertory information at the same time, very fast. I have a result of Materia Medica information, and I can tell you that if we move on a little bit further along the road, that you'll be able to search even simultaneously with repertory and Materia Medica your patient cases on certain information. And now, of course, I can look here, what would be the information that I like to read. I can click on FATAC and see the summary of the mental symptoms that Frederik is giving. You see, here they are. I can read Francis Vermeulen, Synoptic Idea, whatever, keynotes, Erik van Woenstelmeet, and so on and so on. And I can just study Mind of Borax from different authors and from different angles and decide that it is fitting enough to my patient or not, because I found that the keynote she had, the drops of water on the thigh, they led not only to aconite but also to borax. Very helpful, doing research in the real life, real time, with the patient in front of you. I think it's fantastic. Now, Kim, let me hear you if we have some other questions.
No, there aren't any questions.
All right. Am I speaking too fast, or is it okay for you?
Oh, here's one. What are these colored signs in front of the symptoms?
The colored signs in front of the symptoms, probably the repertory.
Yeah, that's the tags. It's the tags in the search results.
Yeah, these are tags. So, I told you, you click on something to know about something. Yeah, I'll show you an example like Caledonia. You want to know about Caledonia, you click on it. You see the little cursor going, and then when you have done it, a little window opens and it will explain you the information on Caledonium. First of all, the passport information by Frans Vermeulen, which gives you the botanical, medicinal, etc. and other information. You like to know the family information, you click here. You see which kingdom does Papaveracea, according to Cronquist, according to Dahlgren, and then the Kelinodea tribe according to APG2. And also the keynotes. You can click here on this icon for the keynotes. So this is just to explain you, or in the repertoire or many places of the program, you want to know information, you double click on it. Okay? But there is another way to know something, and some instances are like this. It is just a mouse over. The mouse over means you move the cursor of your mouse, you see, to this place here. And then it tells you that this is a time. So this is a label indicating morning as a time. Okay? You see this little green arrow there, you don't know what it is, you move the cursor over it without any clicking, and it tells you José Ramón from Spain indicated this rubric to be very interesting for veterinary homeopaths. So the mouse over will explain to you many of the signs that you're seeing here. This is a modality. You see my mouse moving to this little icon here. Okay. So the explanation is that these are additional informations which can be used in a number of ways. I'm not going to explain that for the moment, but the mouse over is a way to know about it, otherwise a double click. Now let me tell you just this little thing.
We've got a question here if you would like to take a question.
Yes, can I just postpone the question because I just reminded myself of another issue. The program which most of you will have now is mostly responding to a single click. Like a single click on the remedy or a single click on a rubric or cross-reference, etc. And you've heard me speaking about double click. Now this is because we have had some feedback that people felt that the program was sometimes moving too fast into areas they didn't want because of the single click, and then they do a double click and they are one screen too far or one step too far. And so we have implemented the possibility to use a double click. But again, as an option, you remember here, the little icon with the arrow down, you see them here at the right side? When I click on those, in the repertory, I see, wait a minute, no, I'm sorry, I apologize. This is a general option. This is not only to the repertory, it's a general option. So I misled you by saying you have to go here. It's a general option, so this is under Tools Options, okay? So the way the mouse works is a general option, and here under the System Options Requirements you find a tab Mouse, where you can indicate if you like a double click or a single click for certain actions of the program. So if you got used to having the single click being effective when clicking on remedies in the analysis, all you need to do is change it here. Okay? So don't worry, we're not forcing you to work in a certain way. Our philosophy is to allow people to work in the way they like. And even with the single and the double mouse click, we are achieving that. So I forgot to mention this because when I speak about the double click, it might be confusing for most of the people because this is a new feature, a new flexibility we just built in between the 110 and the 120, which no one has so far. So having clarified this, Kim, be welcome with your question.
Yeah, there's just a few here that are good. One is there a difference between Radar 10 and RadarOpus? Let me just answer that one very quickly.
Yes, Kim, go ahead.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference. You know, Radar 10 is a program which is based on technology which is, you know, more than 10 years old. RadarOpus is using contemporary technology, and also everything is built into one program. Before, you had a repertory part of the program and a materia medica part of the program and a patient file part of the program. Now they're all integrated in one software application, which makes it not only much more powerful but a lot easier to use.